Hello everyone, Harry Baldock here, editor at Total Telecom. The topic of digital transformation is something that everyone's talking about these days, but far less talked about is the crucial internet infrastructure that serves as its foundation. And today I'm delighted to be joined with Andreas Sturm, Chief Business Development Officer at DE-CIX, here to talk about the changes in demand in the past couple of years and what this means for internet exchange operators. Andreas, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts on the various topics we're discussing.
Yeah, it's really my pleasure. Before we go any further, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, your role, and about DE-CIX as a company?
Sure. Yeah, as said, my name is Andreas Sturm. I'm the Business Development Officer in DE-CIX. I'm with DE-CIX for the last 13 years now, expecting to stay longer. My responsibility is from a regional perspective, Central Europe and Germany in particular. And most important, I'm taking care of our flagship internet exchange in Frankfurt, the DE-CIX Frankfurt. If you ever somehow wondered what kind of business we are driving, we are operating layer 2 switching fabrics. And the benefit of our customers, they're connecting to these fabrics, is to exchange internet traffic directly. And that's basically the smartest and most seamless way to exchange traffic. And the customers sitting behind these networks are seeing this in an excellent video on demand consumption, like the Zoom session we have. It's not freezing and these kind of things. So that's why exchanging traffic directly and even more locally, and that's where coming later, is what we do for our business and for living.
And so the last time we spoke was around 2 years ago. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happened for DE-CIX as a business since that time?
Yeah, the last 2 years were challenging, were exhausting, and weirdly exciting at the same time. So we experienced, better say, that our platform is super rock solid, even unexpected peaks, increased volume, all went well. We learned that even the German internet is very stable and reliable. That came for many people to a surprise and to a question, but it works very well during the pandemic time. Business-wise, we took the challenge and we started to build out more local. So we are now running for, I think, 2 years now, the DE-CIX in the region, which is operated by us. We did build a cooperation with the Stuttgart exchange for the cloud opportunities. And during the time, we are now happy to announce the DE-CIX Leipzig is coming soon and operational in late summer. So this is basically the last region where no exchange or even local interconnection platform was happening. And now we're building this. And at the end of the day, we think after the 2 years, we are nearly being present at all 11 metro regions. And there are 3 more local activities working, which I can't tell right now, but we will see.
DE-CIX has clearly been expanding its regional presence, not only in Germany, as you mentioned, but even in your other markets as well. Can you explain the idea behind this and why it's important to have more of a regional presence in these areas?
I'm happy to explain. So as you can see by now, DE-CIX presence expands from the US to Europe, to the Middle East, and even Asia. And looking at the connected customer base, we are basically accessible from everywhere. The reason behind this, going more into regions and expanded regions and to build distributed interconnection platforms, it's all about, we believe that traffic needs to be exchanged more local. And if the traffic is exchanged more local, then the customer experience is better. The networks are more reliable. And then people are moving their digital life on the internet, within the internet. So that's why having more reliable local exchange points or interconnection points is a truly benefit to the whole show. And especially in Germany, the challenge is we are not well known for very digitalized society, but our businesses need businesses, they compete on a global scale. So in order to compete on a global scale, I need to be fully digital. So in order to become fully digital, I need to have the perfect digital foundation. And this is what we believe is that DECIX is the core of the internet, or the exchange points are the core of the internet. The internet, as we learned in the last 2 years, is very reliable, so business can rely on this. So we are now building more cores, more local, in order to have a better user experience and make it easier for companies to rely on the internet, on cloud offerings and these kind of things, to become more digital as a company in their offerings. And that makes them the opportunity to compete globally in the digital domain. And that's why we're doing this.
From a business perspective, do you think people are making the most of these new technologies related to things like the edge and the cloud? What's still missing from this picture, especially in Germany?
I think it's companies are far more digitalized than we sometimes think, even it's not far enough, but they are. They make a lot of use of cloud connectivity. They make use of the internet. This is all what they do. What is the missing piece for them is, and that's for us as being part of this digital transformation in Germany, is to link all the data silos with each other, to have a seamless workflow. And lots of data is missing because I'm doing lots of cut and paste, and that's happening in all companies. And if I'm missing data, my data quality is not perfect. And if I'm thinking for the next thing that happened after we are all cloudificated, it's the artificial intelligence which rely on a very good quality of databases or data quality. So in order to have this, I need to make sure that all my application I'm using are interconnected, that the data is working from one end to the other end. And then I can build artificial intelligent applications around it to basically my offering smarter, easier to use. Me as an employee have better access to information about customers, projects, about basically industry intelligence, so everything. So this is the next step which needs to be done, and what is missing is this seamless workflow. When this is done, artificial intelligence will come, and all based on the perfect foundation. So that's basically the next thing.
Yeah, definitely a very exciting process. We've spoken about the past a little bit. What does the future hold for DECIX, and what would you think are the most interesting markets?
We took the last 2 years to build the foundation. We promoted extremely the cloud connectivity in a way that you are now interconnecting point to point on a more secure, more performant driven way with the cloud. So your cloudification as a company could have. The reason for cloudification is that the output is much faster, which is needed because of the global competition. Everywhere is coming somewhere around the corner with a new offering, and I have to keep up, or I need to lead the pack, basically. So for us, it's now the time to bring the pieces together. We did build the core, we do offerings for cloud, and now we need to link this to have the people easy access to the cloud offerings or to anything else which is needed to be more competitive in the digital domain. When we're speaking about next markets, that's the tough question. We cover Germany with 11 metro regions. We are present there, more or less. So now we are talking about the edge. So we're talking about the tier 2 metro regions in Germany, but even in other markets as well. So if we're taking Spain, we have Madrid, we took Barcelona, we built Lisbon as covering the Iberian Peninsula. So we're doing the same way everywhere. So in Spain, for example, northern Spain with Bilbao is missing. Then there is, I think it's Valencia is missing. So this is the markets we need to build, which are tier 2 markets. And this is what are the next markets going to be, the tier 2. I have no clue if the digital edge is really a market. We will figure it out. In about 2 years, we will know.
It's such a fascinating time to be in the industry, and it's great to catch up with you once again and see how you've developed in the past 2 years. It's always great to speak to you, Andreas. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Harry. It was a pleasure talking to you and the opportunity to share my thoughts. I hope the listeners will enjoy it, and talk to you next time and see you live in Wiesbaden.